Hello guys, guess who's back? It's your homegirl, your host most Adoni the Wise. And yes, of course, you're watching another episode on all that matters. Because why? You matter. So every time I'm always bringing things that matter to you, that matter to me, that matters to us to make us better people, better person in different spheres of life. So today, diving into today's topic, what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about phone etiquette. Yeah, phone etiquette. I know most of you will be like, phone etiquette. I know there are etiquettes that is behaving well, good manners, comporting oneself, good conduct, and panache. Yes, there is also phone etiquette. There are ways that you make conversations on phone. There are ways that you handle your phone that will tell you that you have good phone etiquette or not. And that is what I'll be talking about today, because I have found out that is a very important soft skill. Phone etiquette is a very important soft skill, and it will help you at work. It will help you communicating with people that you might have not seen before. It will tell you, to give a glimpse of who you truly are from conversing with someone else with a phone. Maybe someone you've seen before, maybe someone you've not seen before. Yes, phone etiquette helps you put those things in check, put your phone manners in check, and that is what I will be talking about today. I hope you would learn from this and also put it to good use. So, diving into the topic, what is phone etiquette? Phone etiquette applies to the set rules of making and receiving calls depending on the situation you find yourself in. Yes, that is what phone etiquette is. That's like a simple definition for it. Like, you can say manners and ways to conduct yourself in a phone call or having a phone conversation with anybody, depending on the situation. Now, I separated it into two parts: business calls and personal calls. Yes, now we're talking about calls here, because there are lots of things you can do on your phone. You can make calls and you can text, you can make videos, you can do so many other things. If I'm going to be digging deep into the deep of this topic, it's going to be very broad, because most people spend lots and lots of their time on phones this year and age. So how do I put it in check? How do I put panache to me using a phone and making calls with my phone? How do I make myself stand out and make me feel well conducted when having a phone conversation? That is what we are going to be talking about. So first, I've given us the definition about phone etiquette, and I told us that phone calls can be divided into two parts: the business calls and the personal calls. So yes, I talked about two types of calls, and I said there is business calls and there is personal calls. And personal calls, what are personal calls? Personal calls are calls that you make with friends, family, people that you are close to already, that know you, that know your person. And you can't just, let's say you're my friend and I know you're a very yuppie person and always playful, and you call me and like, hello, you're welcome to, and I'll be like, who is there? Are you pranking me? Kilo shele gongo, stuff like that. Yes, but when you are having a business call, it is very, very formal. It's a formal setting, so you have to give it your all. This is working. If you put yourself that I'm in a workspace, so I have to act like I am in a workspace, you know how to separate your business calls from your phone calls. And most times people have two phones: business lines and personal lines. So when you know calls are coming from you know how to respond, and when calls are coming from your personal phone calls, you know how to also respond. So I told us that personal calls are calls that we make with friends, family, people that we are fond of, people that knows our all and all and can condole all our shenanigans. We can make personal calls with them. There are limited ways to conduct yourself when it comes to personal phone calls, because if you start acting formal and they know you to be an informal person, they will feel that they are talking to a wrong person. So, but if it's a business call, you have to go all formal. So to put your business in a good space in the receiver's eye or the receiver's perspective. So now for personal calls, even for business call, the first thing you do is introduction. when a call comes in, most of us will wait for that call to ring. We put a very, very beautiful ringtone. I know I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad you put a good ringing tune on your phone, but you put a ringing tune that you know that when it starts playing, you cannot hold yourself and you let it ring and ring for over and over and over again. That's very wrong. Yes, that is very wrong. When your phone beeps, it's like, let me use the example of the iPhone, because that one has like a generic ringing tone that everybody is familiar with. So when it does that, that's beep 1, that's beep 2, that's beep 3. That's the max you can go before you pick the call. When it does it the fourth time, the person on the other end feels like you do not want to pick this call, or you are not available for this call. So if you are available for the call, when it rings from 1, 2, 2, moderate, 3 maximum, you should pick it up. Don't keep the person on the other end waiting and hoping and contemplating and also uncertainties that, is she around? Is he around? Is he available for this call or not? Especially when it's a business line, you should always be available, except it is not business hour. It is not, it may be your workplace closes at 9 and your job does not have to say, it's not a 24/7 call. Yes. So when business closes, everything closes for that day. Then you can switch off the phone or put it on flight mode. But if it is on, expect that when calls come into that phone, you have to pick, and you have to pick it quickly. So now, introduction when you have a phone call. So when your phone rings, I told you 3 maximum, you should pick 3 beep maximum, you should pick your call. So introduction, when it's a formal call, when it comes in, the formal and the first thing we all say, I don't know, I think it's like a world thing, except from people that speak, countries that speak different languages apart from English. We say hello, or we say hola, like that. But introduction comes in first. When you say hello, when you are the person calling, when you are the caller, it is very important that you give the hello first. Hello, am I speaking to this? Yes, especially when it's a call that the person is not saved on your phone, on your contacts. When you call, you can introduce yourself and say, hello, this is Folake, am I speaking to Shade? And Shade be like, okay, yeah, this is Shade. Folake, how may I help you? Conversation has kick-started. Yes. Then if it is a business call, when the caller calls, as the maybe receptionist or the call center person, when the caller calls, you say hello, introduce yourself and the company you are working for. Hello, this is Ruby from Ruby Corporations. How may I help you? Oh, hello. Yes, you've reached Ruby Corporations and you are speaking to Ruby. Like that. Or yes, this is Adoni Wise on YouTube. You are speaking to Adoni herself. Like that. So, but when you are the one calling, you should also still introduce yourself, because it's a business line. Hello, this is Ruby from Adoni Wise Corporation. Am I speaking to Mr. Jolayemi? Like that. So you see, it's very, very simple, and if you just put it to practice, you will get this. And if you see it as a very important way of communication, if you always make calls than meet physically, like maybe you are a freelancer or stuff or something, you should have a formal way for your business, because most people don't joke around business. Business area is not a joking area, so you shouldn't just call a business line and say, hello, would they talk? Hello, guy afa. Because you can hear that the other person is it does not make sense at all to me. I don't know if it does to you. So that is first. Introduction comes in, and I've given you a proper way to introduce yourself when it is a personal call or it is a business call. Always remember, for business call, you should always introduce yourself and introduce the company. So that is for the introduction. Now moving to the next. The next is you have to listen attentively, be it a business call or be it a personal call. The person calling you is calling you for a reason. Don't just go into We do it all the time. I am guilty as charged. Yes, I am guilty also. Yes, we call and maybe it's a friend and you know that hello guy, how far? Do you know what just happened? I just saw somebody started gist, and the person that called you actually called you for a reason. You're not letting the person express yourself, and because of except you are the caller here, then you can go on and shoot. But if you are not the caller, you should let the caller say the reason for their call, because yes, they are using call card airtime and it is reading, it is their money you are doing all these shenanigans upon. So some people will not find it funny. So when you call, let the caller, give the caller the pleasure to do the talking and tell you the reason why they call. Then you can add up things if you want to add up for personal calls. But for business call, it's strictly business. You have to make sure timing is checked, except the caller or the person you call is not getting your message. That is when you spend longer time to explain, especially for call centers where they need help and all those kind of things. So you have to pay attention to this person's problem. Now it's a business call. Pay attention to this person's problem or to this person's request. Listen attentively and make sure you are getting their message and they are communicating to you. If you are not getting it, it's okay to say, please excuse me, I didn't get this part. But if you do not listen or you are distracted by your environment, you would not be able to get what they are saying, and you keep going with, hello, I didn't get that, come back again. And if you know the network is bad, yes, because the network can be horrible at times, you can say, please, can I call you back, or can you call back? The network is very horrible, or the network is not conducive for the call. So yes, and you can be excused instead of staying and saying, hello, you say, wait till you talk, I know they hear you. Or what? You don't have to do all those kind of dramatic acts. If it is not the network is not conducive, you can also say, the network is not conducive, and may I call you later. And if they agree, fine. If they do not agree, they have to agree, because communication is very important when the both parties can hear each other and be able to comprehend what they are saying. So first, I told you about how to receive both calls, introduction and listening attentively. Then thirdly, take care of your tone. Yes, most of us call. Most times I don't like chat so much because they don't get my tone and they tend to misinterpret my communication. But calls, I like voice notes, voiceovers, anything that you can hear my tone, you can hear the fall, the pitch, and everything. I may say no in chats. Yes, adding an exclamation mark in chat is saying that you are shouting no. Yes, but and putting an N, a capital letter N, and a small no, it's also emphasis. Making it in caps letter is emphasis. But calls, voices, they help you know to what level the emphasis is on, so you can know how to follow up and the kind of mood the caller or the receiver is, so you know how to handle the conversation. So you have to take care of your tone. If you are for a business call, please be very polite. Be very polite. See, when I talk, I try to smile when I talk, because it tells on my voice. Yes, it tells on my voice that, this person is smiling as she's talking, because it gives you a happy tone. But imagine I'm squeezing my face and I'm talking. By squeezing my face and talking, you won't get the happy vibe. The vibe just dies. So when you're talking, you should put on a smile, even though the person is not seeing you. It makes your voice sound unique. It makes you sound happy. It makes you sound happy that this person is calling and you are happy to receive the call and to attend to this customer, especially when it's a business call. When it's a personal call, you can express yourself, because I don't know, maybe you are calling because you are angry, you're calling because you are happy. Whatever you want to do, you can do. I told you, for the personal call, there is limited formalities. There's limited things to do, because you just have to play yourself. But there are also basic things that apply to this business call and personal calls. So check your tone, listen attentively, don't be distracted by your environment. I know we can be in an environment that is busy, things, don't be distracted. Concentrate on the call, especially when it's a business call. Concentrate on that call. Do what you have to do. It's a job. You can help yourself enjoy your work by doing this, taking these easy steps, like I am telling you now. Taking these easy steps, and especially when you are a call center person and you're a receptionist and you're always on calls. If you do this, you make life easy for you, easy for your callers, easy for the receiver, and both end will be happy. Even your management will be happy. So it will be important for you to take this as I am giving it to you and use it, put it in practice. So lastly, speak clearly. Please speak clearly. So I'm not against you having an accent. I'm not against you trying to touch yourself up. Not at all. If you cannot do it yet, don't confuse people with your accent. Yes. So just speak clearly. Speak clearly so the other person on the other end can hear you. Don't speak to your nose like, oh, you're welcome to. Don't do that. Why would you want to do that? Speak clearly. And I must commend my country, commend my lineage, commend us. Nigeria, we have the most beautiful, clear language ever, and tonation ever. When a Nigerian man calls something, you hear it for that thing that it is. No twists and turns in it. I don't know, maybe because I've spent all my life in Nigeria. I don't know, maybe someone else will tell me that I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm sure they will tell me that because they have different pronunciations in different countries and what they see right and what they see wrong. So thank you for watching today's episode. I just gave you a basic way to handle phone etiquette. There are more to it. There is text etiquette. You can't be peeping into people's phone while they are texting or while they are watching stuffs on their phone. Especially when you find yourself in a public place like the bus, like church. When you are in church, you should turn off your phone. Put it on silent mode. Don't go to church and put on your phone and someone calls you, especially when you have a very loud ringing tone and you are disrupting sermon. Very wrong. Or to your mocks. Don't do that. Why would you want to do that? So phone etiquette entails all of this, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope you put all this to practice. See you. Stay tuned for next episode. Next episode is superb. I promise you. Bye.